Now you know what happens when I say Shema. It's push it easier for me. I speak to people when I have שיש לי קהל. See if it's on Zoom, but it's you need the positive energy.
It's missing now.
Long time I'll see. I was Kabbalah Sataya. My father Snow will know that the result takes time. We believe. So you come to a Rebbe, you go to a health spa, it's the same thing. Shas Maisi, you don't know if it worked or not, but later on you see it worked. It's called Savlanut, it's called Gedult. It's called patience. That's what I'm talking about. The whole secret, the whole Dרכhi is about patience. So, you know, to speak Oshun, Rechem Veldu,
Full house.
Yeah. That's I decided to speak about it today. Pusik says, "Bertzot Hashem, Dרכי ish, am oivov yashlem, yashlem Hashem oivov itoy." A person has, it's a trinker from oil. A person has all kinds of people aggravating him. צריך זיקה של ביטחון ואמונה. בסדר? איך עושים את זה? שאומר, מי אתה מהר? זה מהר של זה, של זמן. איזה זכות יש לי. אולי אתה תדבר ואני אשתק. אתה זורק?
הצליחו בכל נפלאו אעזור. לפני 6 שבועות הלכתי לעוד פעם בדיקה וגילו אצלי ב3 מקומות הינם מייסה. אז אני יושב אצל הרופא ותגיד בהקדומה, שאתה יודע שאני הולך לבית רפואה, אני מגיע מוכן, יש לי הרבה חובות, יש לי דבר מלכוס ללמוד, אני מגיע עם המחשב, טוב לי, אני מגיע למשרד שלי. בקיצור, לפניי היה בן אדם מאוד מאוד, קראו לתור שלי, והיה שם איזה בן אדם מאוד עצבני, מחכה כבר 3 שעות. אז שקראו את השם, אמרתי לו, תיכנס במקומי. מתי מגיע הרופא, אז הרופא אומר לי, זה התור שלך, Mr. Man, I said, no, I'm busy here, I have time. דבר נתתי לעוד בן אדם, ולבן אדם האחרון, 3 לפניי שילכו, אני הייתי אחרון, אמרתי לו, בדרך כלל בטיסה, אני אוהב או להיות אחרון, או ראשון. אני לא אוהב ללכת באמצע. בסדר. קיצור, הוא מתחיל להסביר לי שאת התהליך יעשו ניתוח, ויעשו ההר, ויעשו ההין, ויעשו ההין. ואז אני שואל אותו, ומה קורה? הוא אומר לי, ואמרתי לו, ומה קורה אם זה לא ימצאו את זה? הוא אמר, צריך לעשות ביופסי. אז אמרתי לו שאמא שלי אמרה שזה דמיונות, אז זה לא נמצא. אז הוא הולך, הוא פותח לי את ה-CT ומראה לי שזה כמו צ'יק פיס. ואני אומר לו, מראה לי, אמרתי לו, אני לא רואה, אמא שלי אמרה שזה דמיונות, ואני לא רואה שום דבר. אומר לי, בכל אופן, בסדר, אתה צריך לעשות ביופסי. אז אתה יודע, פה במונטריאול, חברים שאומרים לי, תתקשר לעסקן הזה ועל העסקן הזה. אמרתי לי, יש עסקן אחד הכי טוב בעולם, יש לי את הריבונו של עולם, אני לא הולך לעסקנים, ואם אני יכול לדאוג מחר, אני לא דואג היום. בקיצור, ביום שישי הזה באו לעשות לי את הביופסי תחת ה-CT. כי צריך לעשות את זה, ועושים, מכניסים אותי בפנים, זה המשין, סדרי צח. אמרו לי, בקיצור, פתאום אני רואה שקוראים לעוד רופא, ונוח אמרו סדרי צח, אומר לי, מיסטר מן, go home, אין לך שום דבר, זה נעלם.
אתה בא מחזק אותי, אז מה יש לי לחזק?
יש מאוד schwache Minuten.
זה נשתור כאן אמונה, ושאף יגיד the אמונה, אבל זה נשתור, אז עכשיו, בוא נשאר, חלום give the אמונה when I decide that I don't have אמונה. Betzois Hashem, that's what we're going to speak about. Also is Kabbalah Satira. We're all after Kabbalah Satira. I'm checking on the element, the massive change. What changes from one Kabbalah Satira to the other Kabbalah Satira? One place the Badit says that every time it comes around the Shvias, everybody can hear the koilis of Har Sinai. That's in one place. Another place he says, no, every day you can hear the koilis of Har Sinai. So what is every day, or once a year? What's going on? There's the Priul, it's Amanda Tepska. Says the famous question, Baskol, Yoitzim HaChoyev, Shivi Bunim Shavuvim. As the Baal Shem Tov, nobody hears that Baskol, who's it going for? And then, Oilem Labrias Melboina Shel Torah. I learned for Yeshiva, Motzke Gifta. To get up, that was every year the Rosh from Shvius, he opened it up, very scary. Oilem Labrias Melboina Shel Torah. That's all you need. So actually, what is the Elbon Shel Torah? How can I give a Elbon, a shaming to the Torah? Oilem Labrias Melboina Shel Torah. That since I was Maliv, ashamed of the Torah, so that's why Oilem, that's why I have pain. When you do Oilem Labrias Melboina Shel Torah, so I said the Piruts was when he came to Eretz, and he was living first in Sfas. It was a very hard time there. His father, etc. They didn't talk about it. Also the Ashkenazim from Chitzlos was the time of the Besnagdim and the Chabal Shem Tov. Kids, he had a very hard time there. So he said he can't live in Sfas because the baskal of Shiva Bunim Shavuvim is so loud that he loses his attention. So he decided to let himself down, the lowest that he can get from Sfas. Went all the way down to Tveria. That's one next to the other, but this is the lowest, this is the highest. Baruch Hashem, he let himself down. So then the baskal was Nachan, and his father, she didn't accept him. He even had a son that he didn't have any shidduch in those days. One of his father, Shechachim, took a son for a man of Tepska for a night. And the things changed for good. That means, where is the koilis of Rukim? The koilis of Rukim is the MRI, as you can say, it's the CT. It's all kinds of places that could look, huh?
In our own heads.
In your own heads. There's the koilis of Rukim. Not what that's why. By the time it comes around to you, it comes around messed up. Why? Because the baskol comes out from the Ein Sof. Ein Sof, actually, what is the Elboina Shel Torah? Kodesh Baruch Hu. when he decides to send a message, it usually comes in a code. We used to have these codes on the ships, how do you call them?
Code.
Morse code. So by the time it comes all the way down to you, it's all kind of codes that you think it's this one, it's that one, it comes down all kinds of leisikoim, leisita, היומי יש כבר אל תתייאש, תהיה בשמחה, כל מיני קודם כאלה. I will speak in English tomorrow. I forgot where we are. I thought you speak only English. And by the time it comes down, we're talking about something else, and I'm busy with something else. But we have to know that that's the way Baruch Hu talks to you. But after Malchut comes down, and suddenly you have a neighbor, you're trying to do something, and he's giving you problems. So then we have to suddenly start going, you know, nobody can do anything. Elim kemachizim and malo, only Hakadosh Baruch Hu decides it. It's the only way Hakadosh Baruch Hu wake me up. And after it's a long procedure that you have to go through. So Moshe said this procedure itself, the first thing is called the meal. You have to keep yourself calm, quiet, not because it doesn't get you angry. It gets you angry, but that's called machshuva rishona. We always have, they call it these days in English, it's the migdal, it's the front that's fight, flight, freeze. When a person comes into a place that doesn't feel safe, he jumps the machshuva rishona. But the more a person has patience, he waits for that to go by, automatically the other side starts working. So we explained a few weeks ago what's the difference. It's actually what is a person, a human being, is emotions. Emotions is that's what gets me moving. That's motivation. That's the whole. The mensch is hargoshes halev. That's what the Baratanya calls it. Hargoshes halev. What does Hargoshes Halev mean? Hargoshes Halev means that whatever I do, if there is Hargoshes Halev, if you have the emotions, you have the empathy, if you have the hava, the years, so you're going to go ahead with it. But if the emotions are in a turmoil, very disturbed, so then automatically my fight, flight, and freeze mode, they called it, how do you call it? Coping skills. There's something I learned lately. Coping skills.
Shabbos we were fighting about, how do you say coping skills or coping mechanism in Hebrew? Later.
Call it automatic, your coping skills start working. But the Zohar Kodesh says, why does that happen? Because you're trying to understand. When a doctor, as he said, Meir said before, a doctor himself doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'll make you another, so then you go wild, you're lost altogether. Because you don't have understanding, so either you freeze or you're Lucius to call it, either you go into Efkerus or you go into Yush. Efkerus, you do stupid things, or you go into Yush. But we know that even Meir is talking about, Lucius to say, what is the whole procedure of all kinds of things that happen to people. It's usually the body is changing itself all the time. That means the skin is changing itself. The whole, it's every second a new bria. So in the Chitzonis you might not see it so fast, but in the Pnimius that gives the Chiddush, Lo'ilam Hashem Dvoch Mitzvah B'Shamayim, because Baruch Hu says, Yehidakia, so that those words are working all the time. And it's every time a new Mahalach we're talking on Yom Tov, that the Sfasema says, since the Kodesh Baruch Hu is mechadish b'tiruch so you might as well make also a chiddush that you just noticed today, in a way that you didn't notice it yesterday. That's what I asked you, what did you get by Kabbalas HaTorah? There's Kabbalas HaTorah HaKluli, we'll call it. There's Kabbalas HaTorah HaPruti. The Shvius, we get the Kabbalas HaTorah HaKluli, we'll call it. But every day there is Koilis Eruchim. And some people that need this Koilis Eruchim not once a day, not twice a day. They're going to sometimes. It's up to the emotional friction, called how high his emotional levels are. People that. Huh? You don't. Yes, the first speaks to tolerance.
How much you can handle?
Baruch Hu won't give you more than you can handle, but the way Kodesh Baruch Hu speaks to you is through emotions. And at the end of the day, the Koil Hashem B'Korach, Koil Hashem B'Huda, Koil Hashem Shoyver Aruzim, this is Kabbalah, it's all Chesed, Gvira, Tveres, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchus. This is the ways of that you hear him, all hear it loud, is the baskol that comes through emotions. The question is, by the time the emotions comes to you, as we said, it's coming in just the opposite way. And we as Marbiנו, the whole avodah is to notify that we have a straight line. We find that Torah says, "Anoich Hashem Elokechu, asher tzisichu me'eretz Mitzrayim." So what the Medrash says when Kodesh Baruch Hu said, "Anoich Hashem Elokechu," the whole world heard it. Anoich Hashem Elokechu. There wasn't one person that heard. The whole world, all the goyim said, "We're here, we're ready." But a second later, Kodesh Baruch Hu said, "Asher tzisichu me'eretz Mitzrayim." Oops, it's not for me. It's only for the Eden. So what happened? What's wrong? If they're ready to say, to accept Anoich Hashem Elokechu, so might as well take him in too. We also find that the goyim didn't want to go in Bechlal, and why did you want to go in, and etc. The Hashemus works around that the whole mahalach of Kabbalas HaTorah was Asura Doyres mi Udam ad Noach. And for Noach, Tavrum, that is 20 generations running from the Kabbalas HaTorah, from the creation of the world. There were tzaddikim coming, but it wasn't that the Rebbe wants it to be. What does that mean? Until then, it was Anoich Hashem Elokechu asher berusi shamayim v'uretz. That means you had to. Anyone wanted to volunteer and become a little bit more spiritual and be a little bit more. And so he sat down and he sang a song and he made a poem and he was talking about God and talking about the sun and this. So very choshev azach. That means he was something more spiritual, something more, all kinds of names these days for these type of people. Then comes along Avrum Avini, and he says, it's very nice talk, nice lip talk, lip service, but it's not living yet with the Banishler. He saw Bir Delekes. He saw that the connection from emotions, there it's something alive wire. That I sit down, the Gemara says, that the Nebuchadnezzar decided he's going to write a Sefer Tehillim, that it was so complete, was Mevayish, the Sefer Tehillim from David HaMelech. And Malach came along, and Sotra al-Pivt for Nebuchadnezzar, and he just stopped writing it. Says the Koska, what happened? So the Koska says, yeah, anybody can sit down and make, especially if he gets a salary for that, Someone came up and he knows how to do it good. So you sit down next to a water and it starts working. Things come up. But it was Mevaish to the Melech, because it was something more poetry than the Melech. But the Melech came along and just did something small, and he wasn't able to continue. David HaMelech, he made it with a live wire. He was on the run all the time. Mizo Yisrael Echa, or Nechel Naimi, Yisicha B'Yoish V'Shua, Nagina Shvez V'Shecha, Kapitel Samach. If you look, everything they was going through, as says Shir Amaldis to do it. Sumachti b'oimem li beis Hashem nelech. The famous Rashi there. Rashi says, "Was sumachti b'oimem li beis Hashem nelech." Stam you learn pshat. I'm very happy that the oil wants to a Beis Hamikdash. I took upon myself to make a Beis Hamikdash. The Rashi, no, this is something else. They knew that David HaMelech is not going to build a Beis Hamikdash. And the only one who's going to build a Beis Hamikdash is Shlomo HaMelech. So every day they got up. You know, these days they have here the Hamodia, they have the newspapers here. Sunday. There's B'tzad Yamin, on the right side you have the person that become married. On the left side you have the person that passed away. So every day everybody got up, looked at the newspaper. The Melech is not on the left side yet. Why? Because they knew that Kolzman David HaMelech is alive, there won't be no Beis Hamikdash here. Shemati oimim, Rashi says. I always heard people saying, Musay yumes zuken zeh, yivne b'noi shloimas habayis. When is he going away? How long? Once? Any news? And David HaMelech Shemati. That means one of the things that a person suffers is that you're not giving me my space. You're not giving me my daladamas. You're not, even the air that I'm breathing, I'm not worth it. You're not giving it to me. David HaMelech Samachti. How did a person come to such a samachti? That's what Nebuchadnezzar wasn't able to do. I say samachti. Since I see al tiftechi ben divim, and then all them shames to Shiur, I cannot rely on human being. So who's the only one that I can be connected is the Ribbono Shel Olam himself. He was able to every breath that he breathed, he knew he has to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because it wasn't up to him. Nobody even wants him to give him that. That means there's two ways how to look at things. So the more, when you have a choice to say Ribbono Shel Olam or not Ribbono Shel Olam, so why not? It's very nice. It's very popular, we call it these days, to be spiritual and do a little bit meditation. But when it's real, usually people tend to run away to fight fees. And then, if you have the savlanut, if you have the patience, and we call it the dermil, and you know that actually it's coming to elevate your emunah, it's coming to elevate it to a place that you're going to live to the minutes. But you have to give the time, you have to give I would say it's just like I was by a simcha, and at first they told me that the hall will be available from 11 o'clock till 3:30. 3:30 everybody has to go out. What's wrong? Because 5:30 they have a chassan, they have to need 2 hours to prepare that chassan. So then I understood, when we're in a mode of a bliss, and then you want something bigger, chasana, so you need the wait, the time in between, that space. we call it the savlanut, the gedult, the patience till the kalim, the whole mahalach changes until you get yourself into that new mode of the minute, which is bal koch l'chatochai. That means there's a ways that we decide I want to go, and sometimes they give you such lessons that you have no choice. But if you go into aggravation and you go into you want it now, that's when you lose it. The Torah says, and it says in Sati, so it says be'itoy. What does be'itoy mean? I will give it to you on the time that you need it. No problem. When you need it, it'll be there. But I want it now. Yes, you don't need it now. We always have that problem. So Torah says be'itoy. The minute you need it, it'll be there. Don't worry. But suddenly a person doesn't have the patience. So what does he do? They trying all kinds of other methods. We're not going to go into the Haraidish methods we're talking about. Yeah, everything that I'm not speaking about. They try it and it works usually. It's one out of 1,000 that works. Then it's b'chol af Hashem b'chem. Baruch says what's going on here. So b'chol af Hashem b'chem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when that basko comes in, you start seeing that you did something wrong. Af Hashem, you want to go back to Kadosh Baruch Hu. So what does the Kadosh Baruch Hu tell you? It tells you, va'avadetem meheru. Stam you're learning, I'm going to lose you very fast. I'm going to dismiss you very fast. So the Baal Shem to know, if you want to help yourself, va'avadetem, stop meheru, stop rushing. Va'avadetem, just know that that's a tray of rushing and it must come now. And you don't have the patience, that made the whole problem. Once to be va'avadetem meheru, softer, malmazis b'tezkho, everything be okay, here be a meichel. And even for the Sofer says, and even though it takes a little more time, here be a meichel. Don't worry about that. I'll add that on to it. That means if you want to do it the right way, it takes longer, but at the end of the day, you're not losing anything. If you want to do it the fast way, so you're suffering twice. You're suffering. You're not. Even if you get it, you don't have that. Number two, it brings kitzayumim to people because they're all nervous and the whole surrounding is nervous, etc. We find that my Zayda, the Yitzchak, says that the wanted to give the Torah. He came to the Goyim. They didn't want to take the Torah. Yeah, but anyways, it came before Mashiach will come. The Gemara says the Goyim will come around. We're also a part of this. So he says, I wanted to give you the Torah, and you didn't take it. So they say, well, Klim Kufis Oleni Harke Gigas. You forced them, so they accepted. If you would have forced us, we would accept it too. So the Yalka says, Baruch says, okay, so bring me your yichus, Seifer yichus Shelachem. Kederach Shebuna Im Aviem, Toy Tzivulun, Moishe Marusho Kehilas Yankov. So the Zayda has a whole shmiz, what's that, Yankov. He explains in another parasha, Dhרכי, that given shenifta Yankov Avinu, matai sheYankov Avinu alach ma'olam, went from the world, he nistemi einayim v'libam shel Yisur mitzuras hashivit. Yankov Avinu wanted to tell them the kates, wanted to tell them Mashiach will come. So he says, We know it's apustic. Lehibet uven beyankiv, lehuoma beyisur Hashem lekov imay. Why doesn't Kodesh Baruch Hu look at uven beyankiv? We know that Yankov went through all the yisurim that a person can go through. All that source is already Yankov. And he came, Vachi Yankov be'etz Mitzrayim. He always dafkim in hameitza karusiko. Every time was in hameitza, instead of to schlep him away, what's going to be, what was, and live with the present right now, what I have, is mine. So then he was connected in a way, that he wouldn't have been connected without that. Every klula, in the Torah there's 147 klulas in the Torah, and Yankov really lived 147 years. So every year, from his life, he went through hardships. But we today can be sure that all these klulas won't come on us. The schis that we have now, l'kei Avram, l'kei Yitzchak, l'kei Yankov. But there's still klulas that it was actually 149, not 147. It says, Meir klulas chusashtayim. Parshas Kisura, there's 98. Meir chusashtayim, b'chikois it's 49, it's 147. But in Kisura it says Meir chusashtayim. So Moshe says, why does it say Meir chusashtayim? Shleit Teshuv 98. Says the Moshe that actually it's 100 klulas, but 98 we know exactly what it is. When a person knows exactly what it is, it's a hard time, but he prepares himself. You know, there was a corona, so people started buying gel, and they prepared themselves. So it's not so. There were two klulas that says "Baboika toima miyitn erev." בערב תוימה מייתן בויקה, מפחד לבובך אשר תפחד, ממרא עיניך אשר תראה. Torah doesn't say from what. If you're living all the time in a phobia, who knows what's going to happen here? Who knows what's going around here? And the fighting around, and there's anti-Semitism, and the people go die at night, and the more they listen to the news and all that, it gets more disturbed. And you get all this klula is the worst klula from all the klulas. You have no clue what we're talking. We call it the lo noida, the unknown. That means as long as a person knows the price, he goes into risk. So we'll go into low risk, not the high risk. Because sometimes the Kodesh Baruch Hu gives you something, and the seconds things can turn over. In the last half year, you can't recognize what was before that. So then suddenly, it's one of the worst things. So it says, "Kivin shenifta Yankov Rebbe went away from the world. It's nistimi einayim velibam shel Yisrael. Einayim ze mara einechu. Libam is the heart. Pachad levavchu mara einecha shetir. That's what the barika toim yitn be'ev toim yitn barika." Says the Yitzchak, "Bikesh Yankov legalis lehem." As the Zohar says, you're right. Duhi bisha mekula. This is the worst klula that can be when I don't know what I'm afraid of. But it's also duhi ruza de perkuna. This is also the sort from the Geila. As we said before, when a person is in a stage of unknown and he's forced to go into a minna, then he's going to, and we have this drive to live, the man that automatically comes out, I don't understand, there's something called emunah, which every Yid has believing. Now there's two things that calm down the emotions. One is understanding, but if I don't understand, I get all lost. But there's something in the heart which is called avnese de libe. The Zohar Kodesh calls it less machshuva tfisa bay, the heart cannot become quiet from machshuva. Why? Because his machshuvas are not my machshuvas. I can't understand. But if you believe, what does believing mean? Believing means that someone's taking care of me. The Rosh used to call it kegumel ale imoy. That's what simcha is. Simcha, as someone explained before, is not happiness, it's joy. Happiness is called happens. Joy is that means I'm settled already. He's coming along with me all the time. That means kegomel alaim, just like the child is in joy. Once the mother gave it, feeds it, and changes it, and takes care of it, it has tranquility and it has the joy. It's kegomel alaim. The Melech says, use this pasuk a lot. Sha'amar Hashem le'guva libi larumi einai le'ilachti b'gdoilis v'nefluas mimeni. Rashi says there, doimani lefanechu k'mi she'en lo yadayim v'raglayim k'goyla mitla negdechu. I don't know what I have to do. Gol miru enechu, used to say. But more you're goylim, the more zu enechu. Lo yishavisi v'demanti. So what am I? K'gomel alay imay. I'm just like a small child on the mother's hand. When the mother's around, it's happy. What's the happiness? Can't take care of himself. Doesn't know what a mother is. Doesn't know what it needs. It can't take care of nothing. But the mother's around, that gives its happiness. That means the happiness of a minna is such a happiness that it gives a tranquility of a simcha much stronger for the emotions than the cycle. And the Abuva says, if you believe in a human being, you need a lot of human beings to connect that human being. But if you believe in the Baruch, so it's not fun, you don't need so much. We should call it Rabbis Machshuvas Belevish. But Atzas Hashem is חיזוק, and then you don't need so much. All that keeps a person going mad is three things. You want to change your past. You want to change the truth. You want to change another person. As long as you're trying to change someone else, you're getting messed up. As long as you're trying to change the truth, just forget about it. You're messing yourself up. You don't know where it's going to run up these days on the screen. If you want to change your past, people give out a lot of money to change your past. But that's there are other people that's giving out money to find your past. But one thing you can change is change yourself. If you change yourself, that means Bertzot Hashem da'arke ish gam oiva v'yashlim, we started saying. Everybody has oivim, everybody has enemies. Enemies, that means obstacles in my progress in life, that I have to do things. But these obstacles are not more than baskals. Because Baruch is set there and wants to show you how to go in life. But why is he doing it? Because you also have obstacles, pneumias, you have internal obstacles, that actually a person has a body and has a neshama, he has a spiritual part and he has a material part. Because Baruch is helping me that I should be able to go on the spirituality part, forcing me into spirituality. So he helps me through the baskol. The baskol is the outside chitzonis, we call it. There's chitzonis and pnimis. I know you use this in English. Sorry?
External influence.
I didn't hear.
External influence.
External influence and pnimius? Internal. That means the external influence that people are bothering me is not the external. It's helping me to the internal. The more I connect myself internally, automatically the external will extinguish. But the more I'm extinguishing the internal, So the more I'm turning on the external. That means it's all, that's called the baskol. Then, as we asked the question, why is it oiloi labrius mial boina shel Torah? How can a person shame the Torah? How does the Torah get ashamed? Because I took the Torah, the oasis of Torah, and I used velvel, that he should wake you up, that you're not connected internally, you're only doing things externally. So who sent? That's through the oasis of Torah. So that's elboina shel Torah. I'm knocking on your door, you're not even opening up for me. So oilehem labrias. So not enough that you have your pain that you have, it's also elboina shel Torah. The same Torah that's waking up your internal is also waking up your external. And when you're not listening, so you should know that it's going to bring you more oi than you had before. You know what oi means? Yeah, you have heard something say oi. I just saw Shlomke's video. Shlomke's video says oi is also Gematria 17. Works?
That's how you write it.
Yeah.
Very simple. Out of Yid, 10, 16, 17. Toiv is oi, huh? In every oi there's a toiv. That's the Baskel. That's the Baskel talking to you. No, who's that? Baskel, Haimo. It's a Baskel talking to you, and you can take it as somebody bothering you. That's Elboina Shel Torah. Or you understand that's Betzois Hashem Darke Ish. That actually HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to help you to connect to Him. It's Gam Oiver V'Yashlim, and once you understand to connect yourself to the previous, then automatically you connect. Automatically you turn off the external. But if you're not going to turn off the externals in the shtul, if you're not going to turn off the external, then automatically the internal will work. So the more you connect yourself to your internal, the more is gam oiva v'yashlim, the oiva which is external oivim, that itself, when you're ready to oiva v'apnimiyim, internal, that gives you calmness. Questions?
Is that just by listening to what's being given?
I don't hear.
Have savonus, as in when there's something external already being uttered, because there's something internal that's being shown on the outside and bringing it back in. Here's an opportunity to turn back in. But then, is the turning back in?
Internal, I'll never. I won't hear internal because I'll always be blaming people. So we need some external help to see that the blaming doesn't. That means I'll blame people for my internal, and then suddenly comes external, and I start blaming other people. So then I'm messed up altogether. So because Baruch Hu gives me the external, there you can blame till tomorrow. The people just don't stop. But try it. I say to people, you try 30 years this way. Now try 30 years the way that I'm saying. That the external comes to connect you to the internal. You're not saying you don't have to, but if you want to try it, because if we say in English, try it, you'll like it.
I'm asking how. I'm saying that Rebbe saying so I'm going to the state of self-awareness that I have to just whatever's more in me.
This is the derech. This is actually the derech Abel Center. Hershey. Now verstecken du for the machshav.
What I'm saying is it to just sit with whatever's more in me. To sit with it, and use a couple that I can't change it. But I can't change it.
Is the dumia enough?
That's what I'm saying. Is the dumia the response to go back to being dumia and not being the couple with the outside? Is it going back to dumia to say, okay, I accept I can't change it?
Oh yeah.
Is it saying, is the point then to bring it back to me, to change it? I'm trying to understand this to say, okay, I know I can't change this, and I can't, I can't change the past, I can't change these things. It's from the Eibishter, and now I just have to sit and listen to whatever's going on, and whatever this ma'ir is, what I have to just sit with and listen and not fight, and then give it space.
Fighting helps? I don't know. Fighting helps. I'm not gonna take
No,
it
I'm
away
saying,
from you.
is the avodah
Fighting with
and-
yourself, that you should give hachnua to the Ribbono Shel Olam. That's called fighting.
But is
Every day,
hachnua
you have to put up a
the
fight. The question is if you put up a fight with yourself or you're busy with other people. As long as you're busy with other people, so the circle will get bigger and bigger. The minute you decide, the Sons of Wolf said, I was young, I wanted to fix the whole world. I still didn't go, so I decided, there we're gonna, and it didn't work. So he decided that sons, that's what I am. You have some sons, Bochnes, or sons of Tzidim, you have no idea. So it's sons. And sons. So then he saw that his own house is also not. He can't take care. So he decided, I have to take care of myself, take care of everybody. That's the question here. But so is Hashem Dרכי Ish. Once you understand that actually Kadosh Baruch Hu is calling me, and I have to find myself. Once I found myself, then I find everybody. That means because automatically everybody finds me. But when I don't find myself, nobody home. Nobody finds me, and I don't find myself. So that's, and all the people around me are helping me to find myself. This is something called believing. I mean, either you believe it or you don't. I can explain it till tomorrow, but
Either we believe it or we fight it.
Is there a spiritual? Is it jumping to spiritual bypass? Or am I
no, it's not bypass.
Bria?
This is the procedure. It's a procedure. It's like every operation that you do. You need, it's a procedure, but the procedure will work or not, I'll tell you in 3 days from now. That means you always need the time to change. As I said before, you need the time. From when I changed the hole from a bris to a chassan, you need the time. So that's the savlanut. We always these days we want things fixed fast.
Instant.
So it's not to jump to that hakara, but to sit with.
Just believe that this is the procedure. I believe that a person people get on a plane and start running around from when they get on the plane until the plane goes down. They're running around for 14 hours on the plane. You know such people? Are you one of them? No, you can sit on the plane, yeah. Yeah, but I sit on the plane, I go to sleep right away, but the people just have to get up, who's here, not here. So he's actually walking to New York, as we call it. He's not, and he's tipping the plane a little bit. But that's the mahalach. That's just to finish off. Why is Yankov Vini Zoicha that he's the one that can take all these clueless away? Yankov Vini was the one that wanted because Yankov Legalis Saketz. He wanted to tell him how terrible it is that you're going to sleep at night and you don't know what's going to be tomorrow. How terrible that is. There is the Ruza de Pekuna, there is the Yeshia. That means that you're having a phobia, that's because decide that you really don't understand and you don't know, but you can believe. The heart becomes quite kovu and nafshi go'olam. All I need you to give it to your nefesh in the heart, that there is min ameitz akusiko, is an oni b'merchav kol, that means, but you're not going to get that the geula that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to get to. You say Shabbos, you say Kishesh es yomim, Usu Hashem es hashemayim, es uretz, es hayom, es kala shebom. There's 3 stages. Shemayim, they don't have our problems. Uretz, they have a lot of problems. Es hayom, es kala shebom, that's called, says, Molu Uretz Deus Hashem Kamayim Layom Machasim. Suddenly you will seek all kinds of things in the Yam that are there, but it cannot know it. It's covered with water. That means we're not in Shemayim, we don't know what's going Matach Layam, We're here in the Uretz. Our whole avoid is right now living in the mode of Ge'ilah. So every time there's something hidden, know that the Rebbeinu Shalom is hiding between there. But right now it's only in Emunah. And when the Rebbeinu Shalom will be, it'll be Kamayim L'yom Achas. Just like suddenly the water goes away. You see, you have a whole world down there. So then, and the world is two-thirds water. It's much bigger than the whole world down there is much bigger than the world over here. That we know it will be Tchiyas HaMaisa. Why will be Tchiyas HaMaisa? Moshe Rabbeinu is very good up there. Why are they going to come down here for? Because they're suddenly here there will be a revelation of the Ribbono Shel Olam much higher than is up there. But till then, they're sitting there till we finish our work. Once we finish our work, we reveal the Ribbono Shel Olam in these places. That's actually that is called Geula. So the Sfas Emes explains Yankov Avinu was the one that Vayivga B'Mukan in Parshas Vayetze, that he 14 years he was learning Hashem V'Aiva, and suddenly one night he was sleeping there, and then what happened there? It says in the Torah, it says Vayivga B'Mukan. Vayivga B'Mukan means davening, says Rashi. Rashi says also, you know what? Mukim HaMikdash jumped to the place where he is. He passed already long at Mukim HaMikdash, and he said, "Oy, Mukim Shespali Avoisai," it wasn't there. He fell asleep, and the Mukim HaMikdash came there. Says this for some, how does this work? Because every time that Kadosh Baruch Hu gives you something that you don't understand, for you it's something hidden, but it's to bring out the koiches of a minute that you have to believe that Gam Shom Yotchas Chayim. It's there to bring out the minute, the avnus of the liber, that Hiyomi Hine Lakein is there. Right now, it's only a minute, but at a minute in the heart works much. That's the reason why we started off. The Goyim ask Lucidlovi, why didn't you give us the Torah too? And Moshe says, I wanted to give it to you. So they say, but you didn't force us. You say for Yochsen Shalachem, Kedech Shabun Emaviem, Torah Tziveloin Moshe Moshe Kehilas Yankov. They had a grandparents. Avraham Avinu, Yitzchak Avinu, Yankov Avinu. They started a new mahalach. Noichi Hashem Elokecha Shebarus Shemayim V'Uretz was good up to the days of Avraham Avinu. Now, after he went through Avraham Avinu, Yitzchak, Yankov, Vatezkho, all these hardships with Mitzrayim, now comes a new phase. For that I created the world. I created the world. I put you into Mitzrayim in order to take you out of Mitzrayim, and through living on Noich Hashem Elokecha. Every time you live on Noich Hashem Elokecha, that is Mitzrayim. Because you don't understand, it makes no sense. All it is a minna. So actually, who's taking you out? You're revealing that the Kadosh Baruch Hu is taking you out. So every Mitzrayim, the Sfas Emes says, if a person forgets the Noich Hashem Elokecha Mitzrayim, so Kadosh Baruch Hu is helping you, puts you back into Mitzrayim, but not because he wants you to be a Mitzrayim. It's the baskol that he's sending you externally, that you should connect internally to Noich Hashem Elokecha. So then start a new phase. This new phase of Noich Hashem Elokecha, not only Noich Hashem Elokecha Shebarus Shemayim V'Uretz. Barus Shemayim V'Uretz, everybody can sit down and make meditation. But Yidden, they have it in the DNA, as we call it, from the Koyach from Avraham, Yitzchak, Yankov, Haviyah Sefer Yochsen Shalachem. Yankov was the one that brought it in the strongest, that even when I'm in the darkest place, I can bring it the biggest light into that place. That's called Yankov Avinu. Avraham Avinu wasn't Metusa Shleimu. Yitzchak, the only one that was Metusa Shleimu was Yankov Avinu. Why? Avraham Avinu had a Eisov. Avraham had a Shmuel. Yitzchak had a Eisov. And Yankov was the only one. I'm too long ago, now. Yeah, I'm talking over an hour already, so too much, no? Yankel Vini. Huh?
No.
Feels like
Not too
5 minutes.
much.
It's okay, Chesky.
It's totally fine.
Keep on going.
Rebbe, so it seems like savlanas, patience, is one of the most important ingredients into like proving or solidifying it in your heart. That's why savlanas is so important.
It's important, it's essential, but since the body has no patience, so maybe he loses, because you have to be connected to the hoive, we'll call it. And to connect it to the hoive and not be busy with the past and the future, so the only thing that will do that is the patience. Because a person that wants now, that means he's not living the hoive, he's busy, but what am I going to do on Monday? I have to go, He can't connect himself now, so he must have the patience in order to connect to the hoive. So
how long of a patient period does he need in order to connect to stay in the...
We're sitting here, 6 people, another 6 people that I see, another few on the YouTube. I will make a statistic and I'll let you know.
Like we're asking this question.
How much are you ready?
Have patience, but tell me how
long are you ready? If you know anyone that's ready to take it upon himself. So, Rabusha says, we know one thing. The Boishlam has a patience over 5,000 years. And he says sometimes he loses his patience. So, if he's doing it, as long as
really you have to live in a state of patience is really
just a child too. That's exactly what happens with a child. As long as the child is small, he has the patience small. The more he has das, I'm going on myself. I don't want to give me. I'm going to the store. I'm going to buy myself a lamb food. I'm not going to wait 5 minutes till you prepare me the food. No, it doesn't work that way. That means they lose the patience. But what the mother gives him is not the same. So because Baruch is helping us through the patience. That's actually what we need, is the sablunas. So we just finished off. We're in the middle of. So that was Yankov. So Yankov is the only one that he gives us this koyach of patience, that he saw in everything. He saw the light. And Melekush Baruch told for the goyim, it's a waste of time. You never started this. You're always busy with Noach Hashem Lekecho, Asher Berus Shemayim was. But to go into Mahalach of Asher Tzasich and Eretz Mitzrayim, it's not for you. Any questions? That we said Metusa Shleimu we're talking about. Yankov Avinu was Metusa Shleimu. Why? Someone said, what does Shleimu mean? He went to sleep at night very calm, even though he had a problem of Yosef, he had a problem of Dinah, he had a problem Shimon, Velavi, and there were enough problems he had there, and 12 children going around. But Metusa Shleim, who always looked in a positive way, that must be the Baskol, wants to connect me. I need a Siyat Ishmael. You know, these days you give trust in children, that's what keeps them going. The one that's suffering is the outside suffering because I'm not living with my internal. Once he was living internally, automatically was Metusa Shleim. So told my Zimmer, Shkoyach for listening. Thank you, Mr. Adam. Shkoyach Yoeli. Oh, Shkoyach Rebbe Steve, ich sehe nicht, wer du bist.
I'm nothing.
Ah, no, well, we're waiting for Shabbos for you. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Somehow.
I also don't know. It's okay, nothing, no time. Just wanted to know that I was...
Hashem gave me externals, so I should try to... No, he gave me, like, fake internals, so I should get more externals.
So we have to do something in Bet Shemesh, I think, to make it closer.
Rebbe, noch etwas Avot auf Emuna Bitochen.
Ja, aber noch Avot auf Emuna Bitochen. Yes.
English has to be.
Huh?
No, it has to be in English. It's English.
English, he's an English guy. Emuna Bitochen, we know that by the Surah L'Hashem, Surah L'Azuzel, if you go into the mind of the Surah L'Azuzel, and you took two, some English and Yom Kippur, took one surah Hashem, and you one surah Azuz. One surah Azuz was standing in the side, and the surah Hashem they butchered it up and Makafar come, and the surah Azuz was very happy. He's sitting on a swing, and not only that, he's going for a walk, and not only that, there's no restrictions anymore. You can go outside and have a nice day, and nothing is bothering him. And he comes to a cliff, and he has such a nice view that he never saw it in his life. A second later, from all this freedom, as we call it, that's where you lose it. That means we have to know that every time a HaKadosh Baruch Hu ties us up to freedom, is actually to bring me freedom. That means the Surah Hashem came to such a level that he was the one that brought quietness, tranquility to whole Klal Yisrael. I mean, sometimes when a lot of people, Melech used to say that why are people coming to me with their surahs? It says, "Usa mitzvah achas as chiyas asmi, as koloil makaf schis. Avayre chiyas asmi koloil makaf choyve." So since I'm such a, I don't say it all over Melech, but it's all coming to me that I'm the Melech used to say that I'm so low life that the Gehenna that was prepared up there for everybody, that won't be enough for me. We'll need something new for that, something more updated than it was. That means from the other side, when Melech came up there, about Levi, they say that the cousin Tzemagid was smiling. So I asked him, what's your smiling? So he said, the Melech came up there and they asked him, how did you daven, Melech? He says, all gedaven. You learn. It's not learning. So and then they sent him into Gan Eden. The Melech sat down and looked around and said, it's so good here in Gehenna, who knows how good it's going to be in Gan Eden. He was there. That means that the Kani Keves Elikim Li Toiv. A person has to know when I'm with the Rebbeinu that is the good. As long as I don't change that concept, I'll always be busy. Shkoyach lemeh von Osem. Since Mechazek gewinnt, wir können Mechazek einander. Kaltev, yes. Kaltev, Yoini. Kaltev, yes. Was machst du? Die zwei Jölis habe ich an der Seite. Jantev, ja, beseiden. Jantev bei dir, Jöli. Wie sagen wir bei dir? Ja, beide Jölis. Einer ist ein Monzi und einer ist ein Jölis. Das ist nicht wahr, einer vom Zweiten. Und einer ist du und jetzt ist du. Ich mache es luch, wenn wir gepolt alles geht zusammen. Ja, zusammen. Eurech Yom, Beamino, Besmoile, Oisha Vechuvit, das ist die Eke.
Stein da.
Und das ist der Baskol, das ist ein bisschen stiller. Kaltiv, sehr stiller.